Hi, I'm Pippa Phillips and I've worked here at John Lewis Peterborough for the last 21 years. If you've never used a sewing machine, then the prospects of selling one can be really scary, so hopefully this training video is going to have something to help you. We're going to be looking at the John Lewis 110 series and the Genome 7025, which are two of our best-selling machines. We're going to look at the machine features, that's the parts that make up a machine. We're also going to be looking at threading the machine, so the differences between the two is a side loading bobbing and a top loading, so we'll have a look at those. And then we're going to have a look at some of the stitch patterns and also some of the attachment feet that you get with your machine. At the very end of this video, we're just going to briefly touch on some of the other models that we have. So let's start with machine features. A lot of these features that I talk about you'll find on most machines. So they've got a foot pedal and a power cord, and they are fit into the side of this machine. So we have our power jack there, the foot pedal goes on the floor and we're plugged into the mains, and we have an on-off light switch. Then the balance wheel, sometimes called the flywheel, that manually moves your needle up and down. Next we have tension control, and tension is the top and the bottom of the thread should be meeting perfectly in the centre, and the normal tension for most of the machines is set at 4. We have a removable extension table that you can just slide off, and this little bit here is called the free arm. The free arm allows you to put your sleeves or your trouser legs on. The little extension table has got room for your toolkit inside. And if we look at the bottom now, this is called a side loading bobbing, and it has a thread that goes into a bobbing case and works your bottom thread. You've got 2 spool pins at the top. So these are packed away so they don't get broken, so you just pull them out. And we normally just use the 1 spool pin. The second spool pin we'll look at the end of the video, where you can do twin needles. There is a bobbing winding device on the top by the spool pins. This is for winding on your thread for your bottom thread. So we'll look at that in the threading instructions. And we have a needle plate. You'll notice on all needle plates that they've got markings on them, and these are guidelines, so that when we're sewing we butt our fabric up to that guideline and we know that we've got a perfect 5/8 of an inch or whatever. Underneath we've got teeth. These are called the feed dog, and these bring your fabric through. Then on to presser feet. So your feet clip on and off your machine. This is a hemmer foot. They clip on with this little clip at the side that we just push, and the other foot with this machine is a clear foot that, as you can see quite clearly, has got a little groove there for doing your embroidery stitches. So we line that bar of the foot up with the presser foot and just clip it down. The presser foot screw is when we want to attach a foot that's not standard with this machine that may need to be screwed on. The presser foot lever. So the lever is at the side with this model, sometimes they're at the back. That moves your foot up and down to get your fabric in and out. We've got the needle screw at the side here, and this allows you to change your needle. So we just unscrew that, pull your needle out. The needles have got a flat edge, and the flat edge goes to the back. It's very important that you push your needle right up as far as it will go, as you can see here in this close-up. Then we have the reverse stitch. So we press this down with our finger and we work in reverse. So when we're sewing, we start with a straight stitch and then we press our reverse, and that will lock in our stitches and stop them from falling apart. We have a stitch selection dial, which is referring to the stitch patterns at the side. So as we move that stitch selector around, that is the stitch that we will do. When we go to the length and stretch stitch, this will adjust to the length of the normal stitching, but when we move our dial to SS, we will be doing the stretch stitches, which are in the blue.